my name is Jeanette, and thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So this is the start of another weekly vlog that I am calling Reading, Rambling, and Real Life, because it's a mixture of all three items. It is Sunday, October the 19th, and we are getting ready to head out to go meet up with my family. We had planned to do an outdoor event, but it is raining, and the forecast had predicted rain, so we got switched to an indoor, so we'll see how that goes. I am taking Until Our Time Comes by Nicole Miller with me in the car to hopefully read. I'm on chapter 6, so I'm only 60 some pages into it, and so I will let you know my thoughts as it goes further. But yeah, that is what we're up to today, heading out of town to go meet up with family. Are you enjoying lunch?
Yes.
You can't even see the hole.
It's camouflaged. That's pretty good. That's good.
It is Monday after work. Now I am home from work and it's been a day, but I'll tell you about that once I recap yesterday. So we went out of town to go meet up with my family. So we met up with my mom and then my brother, his wife, and 3 children, and my uncle and his lady friend. And so the 10 of us went to this just small little family owned place that has cosmic mini golf, cosmic bowling, and a few arcade games. So we just hung out, spent some time. It was kind of a central location where all of us could travel to meet up. And so that's what we did yesterday. On our way, Andrew and I stopped at the mall out of town because I needed, and I still need, some fall weather, long sleeved. I have lots of t-shirts, lots of like that, but I have quite a few sweaters, but I needed that in between temperature. And even this one is not quite warm enough for today. I was freezing in the office. But so I picked up, because I went to Mark's, and which is, I'm pretty sure it's a Canadian chain. I'm pretty sure. So they had certain ones that were buy one, get one free. So I got 2 sweaters for the price of one. I like those kind of sales. So this is what I got. So I got it in red. And then I got it in blue. Yeah. I'm trying to see how many striped shirts can I own. Really, stripe is the style right now, and I love stripes. They did have this in plain. I just didn't like the colors they had in plain. And so these are the 2 I got. And then, not to leave you thinking that I'm the only one who got something, Andrew picked up a t-shirt, and it's plain. I thought something's on it, but it's just a fuzzy from the carpet. So, yes. So that was our adventure yesterday. Then that was pretty much the day. When we got home, I did get some reading done of Until Our Time Comes. Why can I not keep this title straight? Every time it's like until something, like I have a problem with the title. I've made it to chapter 14, page 124, and September the 25th, 1939 is the date I'm on right now. And they are in the process of trying to escape with these horses, and where they ended up wasn't what they expected, so then they had to go somewhere else. And so we're following them on that journey and what's going to happen. There have been a couple animals that have died so far along this journey, and so there is animal death in this. There's also human death that happens because we're also at the point in time where the German planes are flying over Poland and bombing areas. So people are trying to get out and they get hit by the bombs and stuff. So we're entering war. Wow, the sun just moved. So at least it's sunny, right? Okay. So today for work, I was going to, because I have this on audio through Hoopla as well. So this was gonna be the book I was gonna focus on. But I couldn't open Hoopla today. Part of the whole internet outage stuff, I don't know. I don't fully understand what exactly. I just know I couldn't get Hoopla. And it sucked. Because I was in the office by myself today, and I'm like, this is prime listening time because of what I'm working on. I could listen. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? And there was a couple YouTube videos that I was like, well, I could watch those, but I really kind of want to watch those because we've got, like, Amanda just posted today when she went to the author event for Michelle Shockley, and I'm like, I want to see that video. I don't want to just listen to it. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? Then I was like, oh yeah, I'll just start a different audiobook that I have that I bought from Audible before I canceled my Audible subscription. And I was like, okay, I have a few there. So I decided to start The Witness by Dee Henderson because this is on my rereads bingo board. So it's one I'm trying to get completed this year. So I started this one and I got to chapter 7, page 107. And basically it says Chief Granger and homicide detectives Connor and Marsh will do whatever it takes to stand in harm's way for the sake of the 3 Griffin women. It's no longer professional, it's personal. But chances are that at least one of them will fail, and it's going to take a faith deeper than any of them currently knows to stand and confront the danger still to come. So we meet Chief Granger Luke at the very beginning, and he meets this lady who very quickly we learn, like we've already learned at this point, who she is, how she's tied to the Griffin women and stuff. And so that was a pretty traumatic experience that she went through that initialized their meeting. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, words are hard sometimes. So then we see Connor meeting one of the Griffin women and kind of the circumstances around that. And so it almost seems like a couple different stories at the very, very beginning, but then they very quickly tie together and it's like, oh, what's going to happen? So I am hooked. This will be my second time reading it, but I read it, do I even say? Yeah, I read it sometime prior to 2015, so I don't remember where it goes, but I'm invested already. But because I can't get this on audio right now, I'm going to continue reading this one, and I will leave this as my audiobook because I'm in the office most of the week by myself this week. The pastor's off at a conference, so now it won't be completely, but I will have more time than I usually would have. I will see. I'll see. Depends. Because, some of my job, like some of what I'm doing, I can't listen to an audiobook at the same time because I need to really focus or type something or really write. It takes 100% of my attention to do it. Whereas other parts, it's like I can just do it and pay attention to this at the same time. So that is my reading update, and I have potatoes, ham, and broccoli in the slow cooker for supper tonight. So it's going to be a nice, just one scoop supper. So it says on the recipe, it says like scallop potatoes and ham and broccoli, but it never turns very scallopy. I think of them being much thicker and it becomes more of a potato soup, I think, which is fine because I'm okay with that too. Okay, so that is the update for now. Work meeting tonight. How fun. Do you want to see my office? Yeah, my desk is kind of full with stuff right now. But I just wanted to check in. It is now Wednesday morning. Actually, it's almost lunchtime. It is lunchtime, actually. Yeah, so last night I had a meeting and then I went home and got some reading done. I have 100 pages left until our time comes. And then today I have reading sprints tonight with Lucy. And I'm like, I only have 100 pages in my book. But if I listen to my audiobook, which is The Witness, I'm like, am I going to finish that? Will I finish both books on the same day? I can't have that. So this morning I watched Alma's vlog video while I was getting ready for work instead of listening to my audiobook. And now I was watching a show jumping event on YouTube that it's past, like it's not current. Because again, I didn't want to listen to my audiobook because I was worried about getting too far into it and finishing 2 books on one day. Why am I like this? I should be able to finish 2 books in one day. But yeah, so that's pretty much the update right now. I am going to go eat lunch, which is just a salad and some veggies. And I think I have yogurt today. I don't know. It was a while ago I packed it. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And then we'll see what the rest of the day entails. It is now Wednesday evening, 11:30 p.m. And I am finally coming on for an update. So I just finished doing live sprints with Lucy. So if you joined us, thank you for joining us. It was so much fun. And I'm so awake now. But I need to calm down so I can go to bed, get some sleep. So during the sprints, I finished Until Our Time Comes by Nicole M. Miller. I really enjoyed this story. And I realize the bookmark's still in there, but that's for the author's note. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And learning about a part of history about the World War II times in Poland that I never knew. Never really thought about the animals and getting them out of the country, or how people would want to take over the horse farms, and for positive reasons, negative reasons, and will the horses be okay, or will they be slaughtered for meat and stuff? Wow. And the way the 2 main characters came together, I really liked both of them and their strength and the jokes that they had between each other. It's we promised we wouldn't stand in front of guns. Would you stop putting yourself in front of a gun? And then the little kid, Ewan, I want to say, I had to think, not sure how to say his name exactly. He starts out as 6 when the book opens, and he is 13 when the book ends. So that gives you an idea of how many years this book encompasses. But like some of the stories shared, I loved the one where he is staying with a lady in England and getting like letters. We aren't. Well, we are in a way, receiving letters about some of his antics. And because he didn't want schoolwork, he hid all the blackboard brushes in all the classrooms, so the teachers couldn't use the blackboards to teach. That's one way to get out of schoolwork. Now, I mean, his punishment was to clean all the blackboards, but yeah, there was some entertaining moments, but some harrowing moments at times as well, because like, how are they going to get out of this situation? What is going to happen? I really enjoyed this story. I don't know at this point in time if it's going to be a 5-star read or a 4.5. I'm leaning towards the 4.5 because there's not a lot of faith in it. There is talk about faith, and they're especially about God putting you in a place at a time or working events. If this didn't happen, then this couldn't have happened, right? And it's like, and as you look back, it's like, well, it's because of that I can be here for this, right? Like, and you see like God's protection along the way. So I really enjoyed that. But the funny thing today, I think I mentioned it in the clip earlier, that I was avoiding listening to my audiobook because I was worried I would finish it today. And I knew I was like 100 pages from the end of this. And with sprints, I knew I'd be reading, not listening to my audiobook. And I don't like to finish 2 books in one day. Why am I like this? It's really because I don't like the way it looks in my reading journal to have 2 books marked on the same day. Such a stupid thing. I'm very strange. Yeah, so that book is now done. So tomorrow I can listen to my audiobook, which means I will continue in The Witness by Dee Henderson. But now I'm at another kind of dilemma. But I could actually, wait, that's not a dilemma at all. So I'm listening to The Witness by Dee Henderson. I'm on chapter 9, page 140 of 360 pages, give or take. But my audiobook says I have 4 hours left, which is because that's like a work day. Not quite, but almost. But because of the pastor being in a conference all week, I am alone majority of the time. So I knew I could listen to my audiobook, and I was like, that's why I was worried about finishing it. But if I don't finish this at work tomorrow, I can read this tomorrow night, because my concern was my next physical read, technically on my Kindle, is Justice Mission by Lynette. Why can I not talk? Is Justice Mission by Lynette Eason. And that is a romantic suspense. And this is a romantic suspense. And I don't like to read the same genre as my audiobook. Right? I don't like to have 2 books going in the same genre. So I'm like, I can't start that book while I'm listening to this book because the settings are too similar. They're both contemporary. They're both a mystery, right? I don't want to mix them up. So like, I don't mind having a historical going while I'm listening to a contemporary. Like that's fine. But because I have this physically, I could tandem read this, and maybe I still will finish tomorrow. And then I can start Justice Mission. And then I have to figure out a new audiobook because I don't have Justice Mission on audio. But that will be a tomorrow problem or a Friday problem. I don't know. I'll let you know. Well, it is Thursday evening, and I was about ready to pull out my hair today. I felt like this. It was like... Oh, my evening has not gone as planned at all. So, went to work today, came home, had supper. I came to the computer to work on some editing because I have a video going up Saturday that I filmed a couple days ago. And I could not get my editing program to open. It just kept crashing. And I'm like, after the computer issues I had yesterday, I was like, what? So I did a bunch of different things. I talked to my best friend whose brother is staying with her right now, and he is kind of her IT person. So then through her, I talked to him and tried to figure out different issues. And oh my gosh. So I finally did a system reset because I think an update did something yesterday. So I did a system reset. I finally got it, because that took a while to do. I finally got on. I get the editing program open, but then Chrome won't open. So I can't get online to get like the book covers or anything. I'm like, come on, like it's one thing after another. Some days I hate computers. And I already know, like, I don't have the best computer. I've kind of been, I need to upgrade my computer. I need to upgrade my computer. Well, now Jason is going to look for a computer for me and tell me which one I need to buy. That is Christine's brother. So, yes. So I said to Andrew, I'm buying a computer this weekend. Now, at that point in time, when I said that, my computer was not working at all. Thankfully, I got my Chrome issue figured out, another delete, uninstall, and reinstall, and it seems to be working. I was able to get my video edited. Thankfully, it was a short video for Saturday. I was able to get it edited. It is now exporting. Fingers are crossed that the export goes fine. Everything works when I go to upload it tomorrow. We will see. But because of that, my evening has not gone as planned. So I have not yet finished this book that I was hoping to read during M Sprints, because I never even popped on to M Sprints because computer issues. So I did make it to chapter 17. I'm on page 250, and I think I said it was like 360, give or take, 370. So just over 100 pages left. So I will easily finish this tomorrow. For sure. But yeah, that's just the way life is sometimes, right? So that's pretty much the update for now. I did paint my nails. Gotta redo them, so I've got a light. I don't even know what this is, an OPI. This one, it is. I'm like, where's the name of it? Throw Me a Kiss. Just really light. Kind of almost opaque, because you can almost see like underneath, right? But after having the dark, it was time for a light color. And so I painted my nails. I talked to my mom on the phone for a little bit, in between talking to Christine and waiting for my computer. And yeah, talked to my sister-in-law via text a little bit, talked to my nephew via text a little bit. So, I mean, it's been a productive night, but a slow, annoying night as well. So it is now almost 10 after 11. So I am going to start reading. No, I'm not going to read this because it's my audiobook. I am going to break a rule, my own rule, but I am going to start reading Justice Mission by Lynette Eason on my Kindle, because I can lay down in bed and read that. And I'm breaking a rule because it's a romantic suspense. This one is a romantic suspense. I don't normally read two suspense books at the same time, but because I will be just starting that book and I'm working on ending this book, I think it'll be fine. Hopefully it'll be fine. We'll see how confused I get when I go to pick this one up tomorrow, right? I will let you know. So that is my update for Thursday evening. Tomorrow is Friday. My boss is back in the office tomorrow as we prep for Sunday. So yeah, we'll see what tomorrow brings. It is 9 something on a Friday evening. 9-something. It's 9 o'clock on a Friday evening. And I have an update. I did finish The Witness by Dee Henderson while at work today. This was my audiobook, but I had like 5 minutes left of the book, give or take. And then my boss walks in. And it was like, you couldn't be like 5 minutes later so I could finish it, because of course he wanted to talk as soon as he came in. That was fine. But so yes, I finished this and it was okay, but it wrapped up very, very quickly. And it was like, okay, that's it? Like, really? Like, for the case-wise on who was killing people and why they were killing people. And it was just like, once they figured out who it was, they captured him. There was, the police did like the interrogation, and then it was done. And it was like, felt like there should be more to that. Then on the personal relationship side, we're basically are following 3 sisters, 3 male cops who get involved with these sisters. And there was just, it was a lot of romance. One had a longer term relationship. 2 of the cops, it was very like kind of instant love with the 2 sisters. And then someone dies. And it was like, why? What was like, why? Like, it was just very random and very like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of that and where it left off, that part of the story. So for me, it is a 3-star read. I will be unhauling this book because I'm not going to read it again. This was now my 2nd time reading it. And yeah, it was okay, but I just didn't like the way it developed at the end. I really liked the relationship between the characters. I love following siblings. I following like cop who are friends outside of work. I really enjoy that, but I just didn't like the way it ended. And it really kind of turned me off. So that's my audiobook. I did start Justice Mission last night, and there's a reason I don't read 2 romantic suspense at the same time. And it's not, I mean, this could happen in any, like if I picked up a historical, it could have happened as well. But one of the male main character, the police chief, his name is Luke in The Witness. In Justice Mission, one of the canine officers that witnesses a kidnapping, his name is Luke. I was like, really? Really? I was thinking at first, I'm like, oh wow, she really likes the name Luke. They're not even the same author. One's Dee Henderson, one is Lynette Eason. So yeah. And I also shouldn't have started it last night because like at the very beginning, the Sophie, I think is her name, Sophia, yikes, is setting up for the canine graduation ceremony. She's in the auditorium alone and feels that she is being watched, and kind of sensing that, and I'm like kind of laying in bed at night and it's like, oh, I don't want to read about somebody watching. Like it just kind of creeped me out a little bit. But the action picked up right from the beginning. I only read a couple chapters, so I'll tell you more about it later. And the rest of our day, after I got home from work, I looked at computers. We went to Costco and bought a computer, so that will be tomorrow's task. And I've been talking about buying a new computer for the last year. And with the computer issues I've had in the last few days, it was like, I'm doing it while my computer is still somewhat functioning, because then it's easier to transfer, right? When I can actually look at the old computer. Whereas if I had nothing, like I don't want to lose all my files or everything. So, yep. And thank you to Christine and Jason, her brother, for helping me figure out which one to get. So I went from an 8 gigabyte to a 32 gigabyte and a 260 RAM. No, maybe it's 8 RAM. I don't know. 260 to 1 terabyte. Whatever those numbers really mean. I was like, yeah, okay, I can do this. And for a pretty good price, I think. So, yeah. So that will be tomorrow's task. I will do that before I work on any more editing, and maybe I'll notice a difference on my editing program and stuff. At least I hope I will. But I was gonna attempt it tonight, but I'm just feeling tired tonight. So I'm just gonna do some reading and leave it for tomorrow when I'm more awake. So that is my check-in for Friday evening. Well, it's Saturday morning. Let's attempt setting this thing up and hope it doesn't take too long. Okay, while I'm waiting for the computer to do the initial startup and all the updates that are needed, it says your update is in progress. This could take a while. Please keep your PC on and plugged in. So I figured while I'm waiting for that, I might as well update you on my reading. So I'm reading Justice Mission by Lynette Eason. I made it to chapter 13 last night, and it looks like there is 18 chapters in the book. I can't tell you the percentage on my Kindle because I'm reading a combination book. There's a couple books in this file. So I mean, I'm at 38%, but I'm much further in the book Justice Mission because of that. So we'll see. I am really enjoying it and really invested, and I can kind of see this series is going to go on. I know because this is book one of a series, and I have guesses that the rest of the books follow the brothers and the rest of the K9 team that we are meeting in this, because we've got 4 brothers who are all K9 officers, along with Luke, who is the main character who we are following, who is a K9 officer, and Sophie, who was is the assistant to the chief K9 officer for their division, I think. And so something has happened. Sophie's got pulled in to what's going on, and she is really close personally with the chief and his wife, and we're just following that. So she's kind of become one of the family, but also trying to solve this, even though she's a civilian, not an officer. It's very intriguing because it's like something has happened, but what led to the happening? Did somebody have control over it, or did somebody else have control over what happened? I know that's very vague, and I'm going to leave it very vague because I don't want to tell you what. You have to read it to find out. But let's just say I'm really interested in it. Other than, now this is where I always, every time this comes up, I think of Alma talking about book connections. Because not only is the main character the same name, but there's also a talk about him being 9 years older than Sophie. And in The Witness, not Luke, but one of the other characters that were in a relationship, there was a 9-year age difference between the two. Like, really? The chances of that? Yeah, so that just, when I first read that, I was like, Alma, you're in my book. So, yeah. So we'll see what the day entails. I don't know yet. We'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll film a video. Maybe I'll get some editing done. We'll see. I do need to figure out what I'm going to read next, because I will finish this book today. I have no doubt about that, unless the whole day goes off the rails and something happens, because I only have 5 chapters left. So we will see. But I don't have a next book to read, so I got to figure out how I'm going to choose that book. But that will be a later me problem, which you'll find out in a few minutes. I have the computer set up, yay, and it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. And now I am getting ready to film my November TBR game, which you will see probably after this video. Pretty sure. So I just thought I'd show you kind of a little behind the scenes. So I've got my overhead camera for the board game, my book, because I'm get to put the sticker on today. And then I have the tripod for my phone, for the forward facing, for when I'm talking. So my phone is going to go there. Yeah. And then I have a couple books pulled out that maybe we'll get onto the TBR. We'll see what happens. Is cooking. I love the one pot skillet meals. So we are having kielbasa sausage, farfalle pasta, peppers, cheese. And supper is served. One of us likes cheese, one of us not so much. Okay, so I finished Justice Mission, and while I enjoyed it, there is a continuing storyline or a case that is not wrapped up in this book that I hope will be a continuing storyline. Except it's interesting because this series is written by multiple authors. So to have a continuing storyline with multiple authors, really interested to see how well that's going to be done and if the characters feel like they change as other authors write them. I don't know. We'll see. I do plan on continuing the series at some point. I don't know when. I haven't decided what my next book is going to be, but that will be a tomorrow decision because I'm getting ready to go to bed now. And yeah, so it was a pretty productive day. I got my computer set up. I got my November TBR filmed. I edited this video up to as far as I could edit. Made supper, watched a hockey game where the Senators crushed the Capitals 7-1 today. It was a good night. Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. Then I worked on editing and I read. Yeah, so as I said, I finished Justice Mission and I did enjoy it. But again, I feel like the relationship moved too quickly. And the way it ended, it was like, really? Really? After what had happened just before that scene, it was like, yeah. So I don't know. I'm 3.5, 4, maybe. You have to stay tuned for my wrap up, my monthly wrap up, to find out what my official star ratings are going to be for some of these books because I'm not really sure. Yeah, but I really like the characters and I want to know that unfinished story. What happened? I need details. So I am kind of tempted to start the next book because I have it in the series. Book 2, it's Act of Valor by Dana Mentick, I think so. And so I'm sort of tempted to start that one, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So we'll see what I decide to do tomorrow, which you're not going to know because I am going to end this video here, wrap it up on a Saturday night, and I will start next week's either tomorrow or Monday. I think tomorrow is just going to be a down day, not really doing it much, and I don't plan on filming. So we'll see what happens though with that. Yeah. Okay, well, I want to thank you for watching the video this week. The week started out really well with the family get-together, and then kind of stuff happened Monday. Internet stuff with apps not working kind of threw me off, and then throughout as the week my computer just got worse and worse, and I ended the week with a new computer, and I got 3 books read this week. I think I finished Until Our Time Comes by Nicole M. Miller. I started and finished The Witness by Dee Henderson, and then I started and finished Justice Mission by Lynette Eason. And I sprinted with Lucy on Wednesday night. So, I mean, overall, it was a pretty good week with some trying moments in between. But that is all I have for you now. I'm going to sign off, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.